These are 10 rusty cast iron pans sitting in barns, basements, and garage sales across America right now that could be worth thousands of dollars each. And most people walk right past them because all they see is rust. Here's what those people don't know. Rust on cast iron is cosmetic, surface level. Underneath that orange crust could be a pan worth more than the car parked next to it. In 2024, an ERIE Spider Skillet went for $10,000 at Dinky's auction, Dinky's being one of the most respected cast iron auction houses in the country. And in 2020, a single Griswold Number 13 skillet sold for a record-breaking $20,000. These aren't museum pieces locked behind glass. These are pans people cooked eggs in, pans that got shoved into a barn when grandma passed away, pans that are still out there waiting to be found. So let's go through all 10, starting with the Holy Grail, the Griswold Spider Skillet with the ERIE logo. This is the single most sought after cast iron skillet in American collecting. Griswold Manufacturing was founded in 1865 in Erie, Pennsylvania, and their earliest pieces carry the ERIE name rather than the Griswold brand. The Spider Skillet features an etched spider logo on the bottom, a nod to its Pennsylvania origins, and fewer than 100 are known to exist. In 2024, one sold at Dinky's auction for $10,000. If you want to know what you're looking at before you buy, serious collectors turn to the Book of Griswold and Wagner, the so-called Blue Book of the hobby, which catalogs nearly every logo variation and pattern number ever produced. Find one of these under a layer of rust in an old farmhouse, and you're holding a decade's worth of car payments. Next is the Griswold Number 1 skillet, pattern 411. This tiny pan fits in the palm of your hand, but don't let the size fool you. It's one of the rarest production skillets Griswold ever made. At that same 2024 Dinky's auction, a number 1 sold for $9,500. Even in rougher condition, these regularly fetch over $1,000. Most people would toss a pan this small into a junk drawer. Collectors would mortgage something for it. Then there's the Griswold Number 13, and this one has the best backstory in all of cast iron collecting. In the early 1900s, the number 13 was considered so unlucky that most families refused to buy a skillet stamped with it. On top of that, nobody really needed a size between 12 and 14, so Griswold barely made any. Fewer than 200 are believed to still exist. That superstition-driven scarcity now puts prices between $2,000 and $20,000, depending on the logo variation and condition. A slant logo version sold on eBay in December 2024 for $2,800. A skillet lid alone, just the lid, sold for $6,750 at a cast iron collector's auction in August 2025. Wetpack Indian head medallion skillets are next. Wappak Hollowware of Wapakoneta, Ohio, stamped a profile of a Native American head into some of their skillets, and that distinctive figural logo makes them instantly recognizable. The company went bankrupt in 1926, which means every Wappak pan is nearly a century old at minimum. Their thin-walled construction and exceptionally smooth cooking surfaces rival anything made today. A number 8 Indian head skillet in excellent condition sold for $275 in August 2024, but pristine examples of their hollowware line have reached $5,000. Number 5 on the list is pre-1890 gate mark skillets, and this is one most people overlook entirely because it doesn't carry a famous brand name. A gate mark is a raised slash, usually a few inches long, running across the bottom of a pan. It's the scar left where molten iron entered the mold during casting. American foundries abandoned this technique by the 1890s, which means any pan with a gate mark is genuinely antique, over 130 years old. These won't always carry a maker's name, but that rough scar on the bottom is one of the strongest age signals in all of cast iron. Don't confuse it with a heat ring, which is a raised circle around the outer edge of the bottom. That ring indicates pre-1950 manufacture, while a gate mark cuts straight across the center. The Wagner Sydney number 13 comes in at number 6. Wagner Manufacturing started as a family business in 1891, when brothers Milton and Bernard Wagner opened their foundry in Sydney, Ohio. Like Griswold, Wagner's number 13 was produced in small quantities, and that scarcity drives serious collector demand. Wagner used around 16 different logo variations over the years, and identifying which one you have matters for pricing. Again, the Blue Book is your reference here. A Wagner Ware number 13 sold for $949 on eBay in November 2024. Number 7 is the favorite Pico Ware Smiley Skillet. Favorite stove and range company of Pico, Ohio, produced cast iron between 1889 and 1935, and their most collectible pieces feature a distinctive smiley face sun logo stamped on the bottom, made between roughly 1916 and 1934. A number 7 Smiley that sold for $10 in 2012 now lists for $50 to $125. And that price trajectory tells you everything about where this market is heading. The number 6 and number 13 sizes are the hardest to find and command the highest premiums. Birmingham Stove and Range Century Series skillets round out the middle of the list. Known as BS&R, this Birmingham, Alabama company produced some of the finest southern cooking iron ever made. Their Century Series, introduced in 1954, features a smooth interior surface that made it an instant hit with home cooks, and those production runs are now a defining piece of southern culinary heritage. These skillets start around $200 and climb from there depending on size and condition. And while you're hunting southern iron, keep an eye out for Martin Stove and Range Company pieces out of Florence, Alabama as well, another beloved regional foundry that collectors are increasingly chasing, with pieces starting to climb in value as awareness grows. The Griswold Number 20 hotel size skillet is a monster. Dating back to the early 1900s, these oversized skillets were built for hotel kitchens and commercial cooking operations. Their sheer size made them impractical for home use, which means fewer survived in private collections. A 20-inch Griswold hotel-sized skillet sold for $17.99 in January 2025. Along with the number 13, the number 20 is one of the rarest sizes to find in the wild. Rounding out the list are early Lodge and Blacklock skillets. Lodge manufacturing has been continuously operating in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee since 1896, making it one of the last American cast iron foundries still running. Their earliest pieces, produced under their original Blacklock foundry name, feature heat rings and raised lettering that distinguish them from modern Lodge production. Here's the key detail collectors care about. Pre-1950, Lodge cast iron has glass smooth, machine cooking surfaces. The foundry actually ground the iron flat after casting. What you find on store shelves today is rougher, straight from the mold. Early Lodge is lighter, smoother, and far more refined, and that difference is unmistakable once you've held both. A vintage Lodge number 12 sold for $1,280 on eBay in 2024. Now here's how you actually spot these in the wild. Flip the pan over, because every identification starts on the bottom. You're looking for maker's marks, logos, pattern numbers, and heat rings. A raised ring on the bottom indicates pre-1950 production, and pronounced symmetrical pour spouts suggest earlier manufacture. Pay attention to weight too. Vintage cast iron is almost always lighter than modern equivalents, because those old foundries machine their cooking surfaces smooth rather than leaving them rough from the mold. If you want to authenticate what you found, the Griswold and Cast Iron Cookware Association, the GCICA, is the collector organization that can point you toward verified references and expert communities. Watch for ghost marks as well. These are faded impressions on handles or pan bottoms that can reveal a maker even when the primary logo has worn away completely. As for fakes, they exist, but they're mostly confined to small novelty items like miniature skillets and tea-sized cornbread pans. Counterfeits tend to be heavier, rougher, and far less refined than originals. Once you've handled a genuine piece of vintage Griswold or Wagner, the difference is obvious. If you find a rusty treasure, don't panic. Scour the rust with steel wool, wash with warm soapy water, Dry it completely on low heat, then apply a thin layer of cooking oil and bake it upside down at 350 for an hour. That's Lodge's own recommended method. For heavier rust, a 50-50 vinegar and water soak does the job. And for serious restoration projects, electrolysis is the professional method. You submerge the pan in a water and washing soda solution connected to a battery charger, and it pulls the rust off at the molecular level without touching the iron underneath. It's the preferred technique when you're dealing with something potentially valuable and don't want to risk the vinegar eating into the surface. The cast iron collecting market has been climbing steadily, and pieces that sold for pocket change a decade ago now fetch hundreds or thousands. So the next time you're at an estate sale, a flea market, or rummaging through your family's old barn, flip over every cast iron pan you see. Check the bottom, look for the marks, because that rusty old skillet nobody wants might just be the most valuable thing in the building.